For the cabin introduction. So one of the goals here for having hiked 5 days carrying all this stuff around is to lighten the load. So just thought I'd show you what I'm dropping. I'm going to get rid of this Gold Bond. I'm going to get rid of this coffee creamer. This is basically 2 different seasonings. One's chili, one's beef. Don't need them. Never used the fork and knife. This little knife I'm getting rid of. I literally bought it for the trail, but Craig surprised me with one of these fantastic little knives, which is what Dixie carried when in her videos. Hangs from your neck if you want, but it's a great knife. This was just a set of headphones. Bluetooth, don't need them. Carbon 60, I have 2 other bottles. This one's almost empty, but I don't need it. More spice, tomato basil spice for the soup. Some sort of a chamois thing. This was my little coffee idea that I would float in my coffee, and doesn't work. The grinds come flying out the top and doesn't seem to work very well. I had 2 extra power cords, don't need them. Lighters, I don't need that lighter. This I ended up with in the car. Didn't want to throw it away, so I kept it, but I don't need that. So far that's what I've got. I'm getting rid of a little more than a pound there. Pound and a half, 2 pounds maybe, something like that. So, yep. All right, back in a minute. One of the things you find on the trail is you meet a lot of cool people, and I've run into a couple times, last couple days, Walt Nuts. That's his trail name. He's an older gentleman like me. Well, gentleman might be stretching it for me, but he's an older guy. He's an older gentleman. He was headed into town here where at Blood Mountain Cabins. He was going to get some supplies at a Walmart, and he asked me if I need anything, and I said sure. I'm really looking for contractor bags, but I wanted the trash compactor type because they're small. They're just the right size for the pack. So he found them in there. He brought them back to me, handed them to me at my cabin. I tried to give him money. He said no, and so it's just I mean, it doesn't sound like much, but when you're out on the trail and you're, you know, I really was kind of desperate for this because I just didn't want any of my, you know, I have a pack cover to keep the rain out, but, you know, it comes down behind your head, it can get wet. And the first day we did hike in the rain, and I noticed just a little bit of my sleeping bag gotten wet, and so I've been very concerned about it. It's been on my mind, and we did go to old Walmart, and I forgot to look for them the other day when we were in Woody Gap. But when somebody does something like that for you, it's just super nice, and you know, it like handled a primary problem for me without even having to do anything. It was just the generosity of another hiker, and he wouldn't take any money for it. So it was really nice. So Walt Nuts, I really appreciate it. You're a good man. Hope to run into you some more, which I probably will. So so the benefit of this is it's a really thick material, plastic. It's just the right size for the pack. So everything in my pack now is going to be sealed inside this trash compactor bag. So I have double protection from the rain. And I'll still wear the pack cover because I really don't want my pack to be soaked, because then it becomes much heavier. But this will ensure that I won't have wet clothes or wet sleeping bag, and that's primary concern. So we're here. This day 6 video is turning into day 7. We're staying in the cabin 2 nights because it's raining all last night, all day today, all day, well, all the way up until like 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. When we head out, we should be seeing a easing up on the rain. But what we're faced with is, which we've known for a couple of days, is the next 4 nights are going to be lows in 20s. Now, generally what I've seen, and I can't be completely accurate because I haven't used a thermometer. I did buy a little tiny thermometer for my pack now, so I can actually check the temperatures. But when we see temperatures, okay, it's going to be, you know, 29 degrees tonight as a low. You can expect it to be much lower than that because, first of all, we're at elevation. Generally, you know, I remember from being working in the airlines that every 3,000 feet, I mean, every 1,000 feet, you're seeing roughly a 3-degree temperature change as a general rule. So if we're 4,000 feet up or 3,000 feet up, say 3,000 feet up, we're going to see, you know, maybe 9 degrees 9 degrees less in temperature if they were taking it at sea level. So you figure if the town that's taking the reading is at 1,000 feet, then maybe 6 degrees difference. So the temperatures have been lower. And for instance, 2 nights ago when we were on the trail, it was a little bit of a reprieve. It was only going to be a low of 38. However, in the morning, the water on the ground was still frozen, and so it definitely went below freezing. And even as we were coming up Blood Mountain, I was coming up there at like 8 a.m. Water on the ground on Blood Mountain was still frozen too. So clearly the temperatures dropped lower than the forecast. And so having said all that, my reason for saying all that is I was concerned about walking in this rain, getting stuff soaked, my shoes included, and then being faced with 20 degree, possibly in the teens at night for the next 4 nights. And I'm borderline on being able to handle that. I just don't look forward to, I can handle dry cold, I can handle warm wet, but cold wet is a very scary thing, and it's not just the discomfort, it's well-being and safety issue for me. And again, I'm novice, so I'm not, I'm maybe being extra cautious, but I just don't want to be cold and wet when it's 20 degrees at night. And so we stayed an extra day here, and we'll hopefully be dry going into Monday night's chill. My plan is to start a fire every night and crank that fire up. Although Monday night everything will be too wet, so we won't be able to. So, but around Tuesday night, Thursday night, we'll be able to start a fire. Friday, even Thursday, we're looking at temperatures up in the 50s, and then Friday up in the 60s. So could be a big change for us, I'm hoping. And after that, hopefully we won't see any of these sub-freezing temperatures. That's my concern. So I think that's all I was going to say. Blood Mountain cabins are awesome. Highly recommend them. I think our next stop will be the Hiawassee. We're going to be top of the Georgia hostel. I think we're going to try to overnight there. I'm going to have a resupply box shipped there. If my sister can do it, I'm not positive about that. She just traveled down to Tennessee to take care of my dad for a couple weeks. So I just got to get in touch with her about that. Hospitality here at Blood Mountain Cabins is great. And there's some other things I wanted to say, so I'll be back. All right. Just wanted to go over a little bit of my meal supply and what we're doing. I have not added anything since I started hiking. So as you can see, what I have left here is way more than I had way more than I needed to start out. So I overpacked food. I think I had about 5.5, 6 pounds of food when I started. And I really didn't need that much. Of course, there's a lot of places where you might grab something, if there's something available beyond what you have in your pack. But I just wanted to quick go over. So my plan is that Craig and I will be in Hiawassee and probably stay at top of Georgia hostel. We should be there by Thursday, Friday at the latest. So I've got basically for each day, I have a Cliff Bar, which is basically a midday snack for fuel and to tide me over. This is basically, could be considered 2 meals. But what I've been doing is I'm cooking them both in the evening, and it fills up my cook pot, and I'll basically eat half of that, which just fills me up, or more than half, and then I'll leave it overnight. When I hang my bag, I leave it in the pot, and then in the morning I already have the meal made. I can either heat it back up and eat it, or I can eat it cold. Yesterday I ate it cold, and that's fine. I mean, you're just looking to refuel and have something in your tummy. So that's basically 2, 3, 4 days of meals. This is the dried veggies, which I've been throwing into every meal. I could say that day 5 worth of meal. This is 2 oatmeals here. This is my Tangy Tangerine, which is a very high nutrient content drink mix with vitamins and minerals and things like that. And this is something that I've been augmenting my meals with just to make them a little more flavorful, which is the bouillon cubes, but I also can use them to have a bouillon drink in the evening if I want something warm or something like that. So that's my current plan till the weekend when we resupply, and I'm going to have Patty send me a resupply box to the top of Georgia hostel. I'm calling her for that today. So that's my food plan for the rest of the week, and feel free to comment. Let me know if you If you want to join me for lunch or dinner, you're welcome to stop by on the trail. And yep, all right, talk to you soon. All right, so I'm just gonna complete this day 6-7 video with one of the 4 stuffed raccoons in the background there, and because this cabin is called Raccoon. So we are itching to go. A day and a half here has been spectacular. Gave us a chance to shave 3 to 4 pounds off our packs. Craig got some really important equipment changes done, got his pack even lighter, and you know, we got rested up. Had a couple of little bit swollen ankles, and that's gone now. I'm still going to tape my big toes in the morning just so that they stay good. And yeah, so we got a lot of things done while we were here. We've repacked our packs about 3 times. We just watched several videos on packing your pack, so we've been doing that and testing out our water stuff. And yeah, it's been a super stay. So tomorrow starts the 7th day of our journey, or the first day of, sorry, it's the 8th day, the first day of our 2nd week, and we're ready. It's going to be a little brutal at night for 4 nights, or a little bit of rain in the morning, not much, just till 8 a.m. So the trail will probably be wet and damp, but tomorrow night will be dry and sun comes out in the afternoon. And then we're going to try to go 11.5 miles to Lowe's Gap Shelter. I think Jeremy is there now. He left today, so he made it there. He will probably meet us further on at Hiawassee. So Craig and I will be hoofing it together. His pack is significantly lighter. I think he'll probably be kicking my butt tomorrow, so we'll see what happens there. So we're excited. This cabin has been awesome. So Blood Mountain Cabins, it's a great place, fairly inexpensive. You can, you know, get 3 or 4 guys together and make it super cheap, you know, as cheap as a hostel. So the next time we have a stop will be Thursday at the Top of Georgia hostel. We're planning a night there. I have some boxes being shipped there by my sister Patty. So that's about it for now. Appreciate you tuning in. We are happy to be here, and I appreciate the comments that some of you made. Well, any comments you've made, I appreciate it, and look forward to hearing more. All right, thanks.